Dave Scott, John Martin, city manager. And John, thank you very much for inviting us to this beautiful facility you have. We're here at the community center. You've got the lakes right behind you on either side. This is really a remarkable place. How did you make all this happen?
Oh my goodness. So that's a very big question. So we started years and years ago with a community center right on this property, and it was old. And I'll tell you, Helen Jane Peters, who you talked about already, would love to give you the whole history on that building. Detroit Free Press Fresh Air Camp donated to the city, blah, blah, blah. It was removed. We built this beautiful facility 15 years ago, but we had tennis courts. And then, oh my gosh, 25 years ago, actually a resident who was a big bocce guy said, we need some bocce courts. So he built a couple bocce courts, added 2 more bocce courts. So now we have 4 bocce courts, 2 tennis courts. We added a volleyball court, and it's all right here in this little corner of our community center park.
And I don't know too many locations where we have a park like this that has all this water surrounding.
I know. This is like probably one of the most beautiful areas in Oakland County. It's
absolutely.
It's got to be.
And you maintain it well. You continue to improve it. Mm-hmm. The recent improvement of this beautiful building that people have an opportunity to see when we do our broadcasts from here and your city meetings and other things. I mean, it's an absolutely great and spectacular place. Talk just briefly. We only got a couple of minutes, and I could take hours with this, but your community really has evolved as this has been not only this piece of property, but all of your lakefront property and all of Sylvan Lake has become some of the most desirable residential property in Oakland County.
That is very true. If there's a house up for sale, it's not for long, and a lot of times there's not even a sign. So it is a very spectacular place. It's really a really cool little hidden area because you can't get through it. It's we're surrounded by water on 3 sides.
Right.
So and a lot of people driving down Orchard Lake Road have no idea it's here. But you're absolutely right. I think we've had 9 or 10 homes that were demolished and rebuilt in the last year and a half, 2 years. So it is very, very desirable. Home Police Department, that's a big draw. The lakes, of course, is spectacular. But not only that, but over the last couple of years with events that have been happening. And I will either blame, I don't want to thank COVID. We don't want to thank COVID for anything. But it drew everybody out of their homes because there wasn't a whole lot to do, and the community came together, and there are so many activities that are being put on by residents.
Well, this is kind of, this is almost as much of a community organization as it is a city.
Absolutely.
It feels more to me like a exclusive, although you've got a variety of people here. I want to say that word carefully, but Sylvan Lake kind of has a very tight sense of community, I think is the best way to say it. And that's why you probably don't have too many homes for sale, because people, when they find out what they have here in Oakland County, in this spot in Oakland County, and so close and so easy to get to maybe their job somewhere else in Metro Detroit,
Sure.
It's a gem.
Yeah, we're really just about directly the center of Oakland County, so it's pretty cool.
And you have a diverse residence and business situation here too, in that you are a bedroom community, but you also have the Orchard Lake Road facing. You've got a lot of businesses here. You've got commerce here. You've got homes. You have very expensive homes. You have very affordable homes. It's really quite a combination.
Yeah, you're right. It really runs the gamut on all of those things that you just said. We probably have 90 businesses. You wouldn't realize that there are that many businesses in Sylvan Lake.
Well, and then, we think about that as it compares to West Bloomfield, Orchard Lake. You and Kego have a little bit more business activity in your communities relative to your total population. And that's got to be a nice thing, too, for you as a city manager.
It is. It really is. Right now, we're seeing, again, over the last couple of years, we've seen a little downturn in some of the business activity and a couple of things that are empty, but we're working on that. We just finished our master plan. Planning Commission just wrapped that up a couple of months ago. So now the next step in that is implementation and trying to get some of these businesses back going again. So
well, and tonight is just an example, and having great citizens and people that contribute, which you really really have.
We do.
You really have. And, Helen Jane Peters, we get so much attention on her, but she's just a really good example with the history and that she continues to bring people up in this amazing community. And tonight, another good example here tonight. If you're in the area, you definitely should come by the community center. So there's going to be a great program in here tonight at 6:30.
And she is very passionate with what she does. I mean, she absolutely loves it. She brings props. She dresses period appropriate. It's spectacular. She puts a lot of time and she's got a lot of knowledge.
Yeah,
It's very fun.
When we were setting up, I had the opportunity to just kind of peek around a little bit and see exactly what she has set up in there. And you definitely want to come and be a part of it. It's going to be a lot of fun. The guys are running the promo here in the background as we're chatting a little bit. There she is. And that's, kind of where she's going to be and going through a lot of really interesting historical information. And it's it's great. It's going to be a neighbor to neighbor presentation tonight.
Yeah, it is really fun. And you get a lot of people that have been here for a long time, many years, who remember some of the stuff. We get an awful lot of new residents that are just fascinated with what's Sylvan Lake all about.
John, we got to go in just a couple of minutes. It's not going to stay 70 much longer, maybe a couple of hours. What happens on this property in the wintertime? Is there
usually there's snow. There's generally. Actually, it definitely quiets down. We again, a bunch of residents, they shovel a big section of the ice on the lake and just skate. And we'll have activities down here. Parks and Rec puts on some stuff. I believe that there are going to be some winter activities inside the building too. But there was a little talk of kind of building a little bit of a snow hill over here. But I don't know if that'll come to fruition or not.
You've been working for the city since 1984. You've been the city manager since I've read your bio on the website since 1992.
Yep.
I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but is there any one or two really big things that have changed that either surprised you or that you think are remarkable?
I think the biggest thing is seeing the growth from the beginning, and I grew up here too, so I've been here my whole life, so like 30 years.
Sure.
But things have changed, and I would say 95% of them are for the better, and really, really better. The growth of the community and coming together over the last few years has been just fantastic. I think being able to keep a place small and have it thrive is not an easy task, because your funding is low. You only have so much to get. But I think it's the people, the population, the residents that have continued to make this just a fantastic place. I mean, I go the direction, but I won't take credit. That's
well, I could take credit for a lot, because when you have a small community like this and you grow up in the community, when somebody has an issue, or maybe their garbage doesn't get picked up, or maybe there's a pothole in the street, or maybe a bunch of good things have happened too. You're the easiest guy to find. All I got to do is walk down to City Hall. It's not like there's 10 security guards there that say, no, you can't talk. You're very accessible.
Yeah. That's important. That's super important. But it's interesting that you said potholes, because just real quick,
sure.
That's one of the things that we were talking about not too long ago, was the big issue of today, whatever it is. Orchard Lake Road. We get complaints about Orchard Lake Road. It's terrible. I can guarantee you that in 2 months, when it's all done, nobody's going to remember how bad it was today. The problems of today, when they're fixed, are gone. And then there's a new problem for today.
All right.
Just remember that.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Final reminder, if you're looking for something to do to tie into Veterans Day, and maybe you got to work tomorrow, tonight, come by this beautiful facility. If you've not been here, here's a great opportunity for you to come by. And even if you don't live in Sylvan Lake, it's quite all right. You can learn a lot. Helen Jane Peters, our area historian, will be putting on a presentation tonight, 6:30. Very focused on the history of the community and significant tie-in to our veterans community. So we hope that you have an opportunity to come do that. And whenever you get a chance, stroll through Sylvan Lake. If you've not been here lately, you will be absolutely amazed. John Martin, thank you very much.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Always good.